Look at that. Not quite Michelin, but... Why is it impossible to be a Michelin-starred chef?
You know what? If the BBC would have got to you first, I would never have done MasterChef.
Do you know how you get a Michelin star? Do you know the difference between 1 star, 2 stars and 3 stars, apart from counting them? And would you like to know, pan down Anna, would you like to know what I'm doing to this poor aubergine? I'm going to make Baba Ganoush for lunch, okay? And I'm going to tell you all about Michelin stars and why did you know it's impossible to be a Michelin starred chef? Do you want to know why? Keep watching. Right. Just stabbing this all over. I want the heat to get in there, obviously. And I don't want anybody making the joke prick with a fork, okay? Otherwise you have to leave the room. No oil in there, but we're just going to turn these, hopefully char the flesh. Come up, Anna. It would be better with flame, but we don't have gas here. We're so remote, we don't have any gas. So while this chars, I will tell you about Michelin. Looks a bit crazy, but believe me, it'll all work out. I'll explain why. As my aubergines blister, well, fingers crossed that they blister, I'll ask you this. When the stars are being awarded, do the Michelin judges take service into account? Is it about the service as well as the food? It isn't. It's nothing to do with the service. It's all about the plate of food. Earlier I said char the flesh. I meant char the skin. There's going to be a problem with that garlic as well. It would have been a lot quicker if I'd have done it on flame, but we don't have it. But there is definitely charring on here now and you can smell it. Now, Michelin comes from the tyre company. And I think it was between the wars, they wanted people to buy more cars, they wanted people to drive because they wanted to sell more tyres. So they made road maps of France and they put the restaurants on there. Being French, 1 star meant it was worth stopping if you were passing. 2 stars meant it was worth a detour. 3 stars meant it was worth making that your journey. Oh, can you just imagine then? There were no drink driving rules. Can you imagine? Right, there you go. Now they go on a tray with the garlic in the oven, 180 degrees, 40 minutes. Definitely charring. I don't know why, but I've always loved that. Why is it impossible to be a Michelin-starred chef? Why is there no such thing as a Michelin-starred chef? You know why? Because the stars don't belong to the chef. They belong to the restaurant. If a chef leaves the restaurant, he doesn't take the star with him. He can't leave a restaurant, go and open up a burger van and say, this is now a Michelin burger van. They don't belong to the chef. They belong to the restaurant. We've got a bit of traffic noise, I'm afraid, but I've come out in the garden while the aubergines are cooking. So let me explain. 1 star means, this is basically, 1 star means that that restaurant is really good in its field. In its field, whether that be French style, Japanese, Spanish, it's very, very good in its class, in its style. That's 1 star. 2 stars mean, yes, of course, it's very good in its class, but you can begin to see the personality of the chef coming out in the food. So it's not just classic dishes anymore. The chef has started to bring an interpretation to them. And 3 stars mean it's elevated food to an art form. Now, whether you want your food elevated to an art form, that's of course down to you. But there is no denying the skill of the chef who's managed to do that. 1 star, really good in its field. 2 stars, the chef's personality is coming out in the food. 3 stars, the chef has taken the food to an art form. I don't know. Do you fancy an art form for lunch? We didn't buy that peacock. Him and his mates just moved into our garden. Right, red hot aubergines, let them cool for a minute because we're going to cut them in half. Put the garlic to one side. We will need that, Oh, one just fell off. That wasn't supposed to happen. I've carbonised the garlic. I will crush some garlic later.
They were only supposed to go in the oven, not get charred along with the aubergines first.
Don't worry about the garlic.
Oh well.
Lovely. 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 Look, flesh just comes out easily. That is cooked, and hopefully a little bit of bitterness from the charring. Unlike me, I'm not bitter. Roughly chop it. Be quick. Oh, the sun's gone in, Anna. I can't see anything. We're in the darkness. It's pitch black. Right. And in a bowl. Now, add a load of salt. Stir it in and let it sit there for 15 minutes. And then any excess liquid will come out. What I've learned over the years is nobody can tell you what you like is wrong. So 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, it doesn't mean you're going to enjoy the food anymore. No stars at all. No star, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. It's whatever you like. It doesn't mean the food is getting better and better. It means it's getting more and more skillful. I mean, look, you rub a tomato onto a piece of garlic toast, tastes delicious, right? Get a piece of Parma ham with a piece of melon. It tastes fantastic. But where is the chef's skill? And that was one of the issues I had on MasterChef. Just because something tasted good didn't mean that that person should go through to the next round, because how much skill were they showing? I mean, right now, if you gave me a ripe mango, I'd think it was one of the most delicious things in the world, but there's no cookery skill. There we are. Can you see the excess liquid in there? You really don't want that. That was worth it. 15-minute wait. And tip if drained flesh. Drained flesh, madam. It will look better, don't worry. Trust me. Because we had a bit of a mishap with the garlic, look, I'm just going to grate some in there now, look. There we are. Add some olive oil. Yogurt. Smell of the garlic is unbelievable. And then tahini. But taste as you go, I think, with this, because it's strong. It's like peanut butter that's been in the gym. Bit of salt. And remember to taste as you go, because you can add more, but you can't take away. Oh. Perhaps a little bit too much salt. Wow, the garlic's fantastic. I might have slightly over-seasoned it.
I rescued it. I added more yogurt.
Chop up a bit of mint, my favourite herb. I have taken the stalk out of this. Mrs. Wallace wouldn't. I say it's laziness. She said she likes stalks. There you are. I just said to Anna, do you want to shoot me? There you go, nice little dishes. Anna's put some pittas in the toaster. There you are, hot pittas. Oh.
Add some pomegranate, lovely ingredient. A little bit of sweetness, and of course, a little bit of sharpness. Oh, and the colour. And then we're adding my favourite herb, which is mint, without any stalk.
Oh.
Go on then, ladies. Give it a go.
What you've created.
It's very pretty, must admit.
So are you.
Thank you.
You can taste the sesame, you can taste the garlic. Very nice.
as you would say, it's an explosion of flavours, and the garlic is controlling itself. It's not too harsh.
Do you know what? If the BBC would have got to you first, I would never have done MasterChef.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thanks.
And it's worth the work you put into it to get this. I think it's far above any of the other Ganoush I've tried.
No way! Want to see an impression of me being happy?